All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. I want to start out with some Arnold Classic updates here, starting out with Sergio Oliva Jr. Now, Sergio posted these 3 recent progress pictures on his Instagram. I think it was yesterday. And I've said this from the beginning, Sergio is really one of my favorite guys, or one of the guys I'm anticipating seeing most, because this is Sergio's first Arnold Classic ever in Ohio, just like Big Ramy. But you guys know, if you've watched my channel for any length of time, that I'm a big fan of bodybuilding history. I think it's kind of historic what Sergio is doing here, considering the fact that his father, Sergio Oliva Sr., was one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's biggest rivals when Arnold was competing. So for Sergio to do Arnold's show, I think is extremely cool. And I think it would be really cool if Sergio won. And I'm not saying I'm predicting that he would win, but I'm saying if he did, I think that would be really cool and pretty historic moment in bodybuilding. I think it's already historic, the fact that Sergio's senior son is a pretty successful IFBB pro following in his footsteps. Now, obviously, I wanted to talk about these photos of Sergio because I think he looks phenomenal in these photos. Again, we're about 4 weeks out from the 2020 Arnold Classic in Columbus, Ohio. And can you guys guess which of these 3 photos is my favorite of the 3? If you guessed the victory pose, you are correct. And one thing I noticed about the way that Sergio hits the victory pose, and obviously he's going to hit it correctly because his father is the one who made that pose popular, is the way he flares his lats out from the front. You see a lot of people hit the victory pose the incorrect way, and they're really just focusing on showing off their arms in that victory pose. But the way that Sergio does it, if you're really trying to do it like Sergio Sr. did it, that's the correct way to do it, is to have that lat flare from the front and to really show off, the V-taper. Now, I definitely do think that having big arms are important when hitting this pose and to really pull this pose off. But I think a thing that a lot of people neglect is trying to flare those lats from the front like Sergio's doing here. And if you scroll through the other 2 pictures that Sergio posted here, I think obviously he looks like he's in tremendous condition. He's extremely vascular, like I noted a couple of videos ago. And he looks bigger and fuller here. Like a couple videos ago when he weighed in on his Instagram story, he was weighing in at 279. I want to say that was 5 or 6 weeks out from the Arnold. We're 4 weeks out now, so he's probably not weighing that right now. But he does look fuller while being vascular. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Where do you guys have Sergio Jr. placing in the 2020 Arnold Classic lineup in Columbus, Ohio? And again, I apologize for my voice sounding a little bit different. I'm definitely sick. My throat is killing me, but I still got to make these videos, man. Plus, at the rate this sore throat seems to be progressing, I probably won't even have a voice tomorrow to make a video, so got to make one today because I might not be able to make one tomorrow. Now, next up in the news, and another Arnold Classic update, but this is an Arnold update for the Arnold Classic Australia, Blessing Awodibu. And I see a lot of people get confused about this because people send me pictures of Blessing thinking he's doing the Arnold Ohio because he keeps posting all these prep pictures. He's doing the Arnold Classic Australia. So the Arnold Ohio is March 5th through 8th in Columbus, Ohio, obviously. Now, the Arnold Classic Australia is March 20th through the 22nd. So if we're about 4 weeks out from the Arnold Ohio, that puts Blessing about 6 weeks out from the Arnold Australia. So keep in mind, Blessing is making his pro debut here, so that's why I'm so excited to see Blessing compete, because he's become so popular on social media, and we have yet to see really, how that's going to translate onto a bodybuilding stage. So I'm excited to see him actually do a pro show and see how he stacks up against these other guys. Obviously, the Arnold Australia is an extremely deep lineup. And in this most recent physique update that Blessing has posted, he's showing off his back development, which is something we haven't really seen yet in his prep so far. A lot of his updates, he's been showing off his small waist, kind of some of the classic attributes to his physique, and not so much the sheer mass that he carries. But I think this back shot here is a clear indication of how good Blessing is really looking and how big Blessing really is. So best of luck to Blessing as he prepares for his debut at the Arnold Classic Australia here in about 6 weeks. Now, next up in the news, let's go ahead and transition over into a strength story here. So Julius Maddox, who is the current world record holder in the raw bench press, and keep in mind he broke his own record of 739.6 pounds on the raw bench with a 744.1 pound bench press, I believe is the most recent record that he has set. He might have done more in the gym, but the official record, 744.1, is the most recent official meet record. Now, that being said, Julius Maddox, the strongest bencher in the world, by most measurements, recently announced on one of his Instagram live videos that on May 30th in Michigan, he will be attempting an 800-pound raw bench. And if you look at how quickly Julius has been progressing in terms of the numbers that he's putting up, it's actually not entirely unrealistic that we could see him hit a legitimate 800-pound bench on May 30th. Now, I believe there's a $10,000 cash prize if he is able to hit this 800-pound bench. But could you guys imagine the insanity of that powerlifting meet? He would probably open with something around the world record. His opening lift would probably be close to 740. Second attempt, maybe a 760, 770. Third attempt, 800. Could that be what we see at this powerlifting meet, which is an insane, 3 attempts? But, most likely the first attempt is going to be something over 700 pounds, which is insane for a raw bench. So smash that thumbs up button if you want to see an 800-pound raw bench world record in May of 2020. Now, next up in the news, you all heard about the controversial interview with Shawn on the Valuetainment YouTube channel, where one of the things that Shawn is talking about that caused a little bit of a hubbub in the bodybuilding community was some accusations he made against Chad Nichols. Now, you guys can go over and watch that interview on Valuetainment if you want to hear what Shawn had to say, but essentially, this week, they had Chad Nichols on the Valuetainment show to defend himself and respond to or refute the claims made by Shawn Ray. Now, if you guys don't know who Chad Nichols is, he's essentially a pretty popular bodybuilding guru. The height of his popularity was really the late 90s, early 2000s with guys like Ronnie Coleman, Nasser El Somebody. He did coach Dallas McCarver. So just kind of a big name behind-the-scenes bodybuilding guru. And Shawn didn't really have some nice things to say about him. So Chad gave a couple responses on the Valuetainment channel. They haven't released the full interview yet. They've only posted, at the time that I'm recording this video, they've only posted 2 little short clips of Chad. So Chad hasn't really addressed yet in these clips the main claims of Shawn Ray, where Shawn Ray is talking about all the people that Chad has worked with that have either passed away or had extreme health issues. We haven't seen Chad respond to that yet. But one of the things that Chad says in this interview is that Shawn asked Boyer Co. to ask Chad to help Shawn prepare for the Olympia. So Chad's response to Shawn was basically that Shawn wanted to work with Chad, and Chad said no. So essentially that's why Shawn does not like Chad. And Shawn actually reached out to me on Instagram pretty much as soon as this interview was released, refuting everything that Chad just said, saying he never asked Boyer to ask Chad for help. So I wanted to put that side of Shawn's story out there. Keep in mind, I'm completely neutral in this situation. I don't really consider myself to be friends with Shawn, and I don't even really know Chad. But Shawn even posts what appears to be a screenshot of him talking to Boyer Co. about the situation, and Boyer even says that is certainly not true. If you guys don't know who Boyer Co. is, he is a legendary classic bodybuilder. I'm a huge fan of his physique. And for the record, I actually get a really honest vibe from Shawn Ray, and I got a really honest vibe from his interview, and I said that when I first talked about it. And actually, a lot of people seem to dislike Shawn Ray because he's so opinionated and so honest about things, but Shawn actually made a really good first impression on me the first time I ever met Shawn. I think it was either the last Arnold Classic or 2 Arnolds ago at the meet and greet. I met him in person, and he said he respected me and respects what I do, and that just left a really good first impression on me, and I wanted to put Shawn's side of the story out there as well. Now, next up in Arnold Classic news, here's a guy we haven't really talked much about. Johnnie O. Jackson preparing for the Arnold Classic in Columbus, Ohio at 4 weeks out. Now, Johnnie, he's an interesting guy. I thought he retired, actually, a couple years ago. He's 49 years old, prepping for this Arnold Classic. He posted this training video. And I'm actually interested to see how Johnnie does here. Now, this is not a knock on Johnnie or not hate towards Johnnie, but towards the end of his career when he unofficially retired, I guess, the first time, one of the things that was really holding Johnnie back was the fact that he had an incredible upper body, but his lower body just didn't seem to catch up with that. And we've seen that over time, this is one of those things in a bodybuilder's career that seems to get worse with age. The legs seem to be the thing that goes first as a bodybuilder gets older. And at the age of 49, Johnnie Jackson is the second oldest man on that stage next to Dexter Jackson. So I'm kind of curious to know what the reason for the comeback is and how he's going to look, if he's got some kind of new master plan to really perfect his physique, and what we're going to see from Johnny Jackson at this year's Arnold Classic. I'm intrigued. Now, finally in the news, the big title story of the video, the reason why a lot of you guys probably clicked, Big Ramy 4 weeks out. This video was just premiered on the Dragon Pharma YouTube channel. And finally, Big Ramy's not wearing long sleeves. He's not wearing a sweatshirt. He's wearing a t-shirt, and you can see the vascularity on Big Ramy. And the fact that he's already getting in shape, well, I shouldn't say already, because in 4 weeks, he really needs to be in shape at this point in time. But I would say in this particular video, you really get a better glimpse of how Big Ramy is looking throughout this training session than in any of the prior videos that Dragon Pharma has posted of Big Ramy preparing for this Arnold Classic. And I think now that we're within 4 weeks, it's about time that Dragon Pharma posted kind of a physique reveal of Big Ramy, maybe a full posing video at 4 weeks out to show how confident Ramy really is and how they really are and how Ramy is looking. I think that is the ultimate power play. If Ramy is on track to be more conditioned than ever, if he is leaner than he's ever been before, if his conditioning will be better than it has ever been, now's the time to post that physique update and scare everybody. The mental game of bodybuilding is a large percentage of what goes into preparation for a show. And if we see a shredded, peeled posing video of Big Ramy at 4 weeks out, those other competitors will definitely be left with something to think about. So let me know your guys' thoughts on all of the stories covered in this video. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed already. Please give me an extra thumbs up for recording this video while being sick, because honestly, right now my throat is on fire talking through this video. It's literally painful for me to talk into this mic. But I do it for you guys because I love each and every single one of you guys that has stayed tuned and supported my videos over the years. So as always, Nick Strength and Power, signing out.